What's going on, guys? Super 360 Mario here, and I'm back showing you some gameplay of this new game called Donkey Kong Bananza. So this game got released on the Switch 2, which was pretty cool, considering that the Switch 2 didn't really have too many games out, and I figured I'd pick it up because I just bought the console, was looking to play something new besides Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Mario Odyssey. And also I was playing Mario Kart World, which was pretty cool. It was not that bad, but this game just got released, so I figured why not give this one a shot, considering this I want to do a first impressions, and this game has really surprised me. It actually makes me want to go back and play more, especially considering it's just open world type of game, or open leveled, and because of that you're doing so much while you're just collecting your kind of smashing away at the enemies. You would go to level from basically you would defeat a boss. Like right now, there's this boss that appears, and you'll fight a bunch of these guys. I'd say about 3 of them in a row, and then eventually you'll get like a big banana that would give you upgrades and whatnot. But like the boss will just have like a rock, and you can either smash away or you can grab a rock, and it makes it a little bit easier when you're attacking the enemies. It doesn't feel like it's so much of a drag. Like right now, I've wiped away the armor that he has, and now he's at the skeleton, and when you whack away, it's pretty simple. Got the key, and when you basically go up to the key, you can unlock the next level, or I believe it's like the next level. It's like the sub level or something like that, which is pretty cool. It makes it so it's every level is a little bit different, or at least in the region they're the same, but when you get to the next level they're different. And then you go around using the voice of the rock here, which turns into the girl. She's kind of hidden away, and she uses her voice to sing. You don't really realize that in the beginning. It feels like it's just this character that hangs around you. I didn't really know or what to expect from the game, because when I was playing it I just thought it was just some side character like that's gonna guide me through everything, but it turns out to be close to a main character is how it feels like. But you do get upgrades, as you see here. Like every time you get a banana, you can use it to upgrade Donkey Kong's abilities, which is pretty dope considering that these modes, they're this open world, needs something like that. It feels like it's more of a game that has depth when you're going in and basically tearing down walls and knocking down like buildings here and there. And you also get like I'd say like upgrades for health, and you get costumes that you can get by getting the fossils. I'm not too sure what the gold does, considering those are awesome and everything, which my ADHD went through the roof when I started playing this. It was all not too bad, but when I was going through it, I was getting myself a little lost by just tearing down the walls, the ground, the ceiling. I would just wreck everything. It felt like that this game had so much, like, I don't know if it was just they wanted to make sure the world, what you do is just smash everything, and then you find so much gold, you find treasure chests, you find fossils, you find maps. You got like a lot to do. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty overwhelming. It's this open world feeling where you're going around talking to NPCs, doing a little bit of missions, getting bananas. It's kind of like a collectathon, if I was to say anything. It feels like it's one of those games that when you play it, you just collect a bunch of gold, you collect a bunch of bananas, you collect all these fossils, like I said, and because of that gives you the satisfaction of just going around the map trying to figure out each little part. Like you would see the explanation points where that's kind of like your little mission or side mission, so to speak, and then you would go deeper into the core of the mission, or into the core of the earth, I'd say. And that's kind of how Donkey Kong got left in this world. But when, like I was mentioning, you use a lot of that gold, or actually it's fossils, for your outfits here, that you're able to switch it up and kind of give Donkey Kong its own little look, rather than keep him kind of bland. I figured I'd go with the green looking Donkey Kong with the I eventually switched it up to the red overalls, which is pretty cool. And then I even gave him a little white coating. You can even switch out his tie, which I didn't really care to do, but it was pretty cool. It gives a little customization, and it reminds me of Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, when from what I heard, that game has the same developers as Donkey Kong Bananza, which was pretty cool. I actually like how this game is played. It felt pretty exciting. It felt refreshing, especially considering, like I said, this Switch 2 did not have too many games that were available at launch, besides Mario Kart World, which was alright, but it did need a little more something, which was nice to have the updates, but this was a welcome addition to my collection. It has its perks here and there when you're just doing those upgrades with those bananas, and then you're just beating away at the level pretty much where everything just starts falling apart, which is so cool. I'll admit, this game really did keep my attention going. I just want to keep playing it. After all the time that I spent, which I want to say is about 3 hours or so, and I was just doing quite a bit. Like I said, just beating away at the walls and whatnot. But this game is one of those games that I feel like I'm going to be playing for a good minute, and I don't think it's going to be put down for now. I think this is one of those games that I'm already feeling like it is I'd probably say an 8 out of 10, but then again, like I said, I still have to play the game. I still have to see how everything goes. But for now, this game is kind of keeping my attention span. There are other games out now that I feel is alright, like this new game called Peak, but it doesn't really catch my attention like that. This is really feels like it has production value, and the Switch did really need it. It does feel kind of like a new game where it's like the hardware is taking advantage of everything, especially considering I'm playing it on handheld most of the time. I do pop it into the big TV to get the 4K, but for the most part I do like my 1080p handheld, and that is the gameplay I'm showing you just because it is nice to show it on here. And it does have good cinematics, it has good music. Donkey Kong pretty much goes bonanza, and so he goes into rampage mode and can destroy everything, and he's like super powerful. And when you're grabbing rocks, you can just smash the walls, you can beat the enemies, you can constantly get a bunch of gold, and every time you get gold while you're not in the bonanza mode, you get enough to become the bonanza Donkey Kong that you see here, which is pretty cool. He smashes away a lot, and there's so much going on for it. If anything, I'd say this game is really fun. I probably recommend going picking it up if you have a Switch 2. I think it's a little bit worth it. I know the prices are a little bit steep nowadays, but this is something that's enjoyable, especially if you want to get away from the Mario Kart game that's out there, Mario Kart World, which is nice, but this is like a welcome addition. But if you guys did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys want more gameplay. I will be looking forward to talking about this later. You guys have a good one.